is Sven Neelsen and I'm a postdoctoral researcher at IBMG. In my work I mainly focus on how people in developing and emerging countries insure against medical expenditure risks. So for one, that concerns informal insurance mechanisms. So take a household that is poor, that doesn't have health insurance, and somebody gets sick in that household, so they need to take him to the doctor. How do they find the money? Do they maybe engage in harmful strategies like high interest borrowing, like pawning assets, taking their kids out of school or even sending them to work? Or do they maybe have social networks at their disposal that function in a way that is very similar to what we have here in the richer countries as some kind of informal health insurance? Now, the second part of my work is on evaluating the effectiveness of formal health insurance schemes in developing countries. Since the last decade and a half, you see more and more of these formal health insurance schemes. What you also see is that it's not a given that they're immediately successful. So sometimes they don't achieve better access to healthcare. They don't achieve better financial protection from out-of-pocket expenditures. So our work is to first find those schemes that were actually effective in bringing about positive change, improving access to healthcare, and bringing down out-of-pocket expenditures. In a second step, we also seek to identify design features of these successful schemes that were crucial to the successes, so that we find the features that we also want to implement elsewhere. Growing up in a richer country, I feel that sometimes you take as given that you have access to adequate healthcare, and then you realize at some point that this is not the reality for the majority of the people in the world. And if you think that should change and you want to make a contribution, you also realize that there's very little money to bring about that change. And what I find intriguing and about my work and global health in general is that you have to find these very smart ways to take that little money and put it to use in a very efficient, effective way to bring positive change about.